The IRS has an appeals process, but what does it do? And how is it different from going to tax court? Let's talk about that. The IRS Appeals Office is an independent organization that offers taxpayers an alternative to litigation when they have a disagreement or an appeal with the IRS. When you file your tax return, the IRS has the authority to make a determination as to what your tax liability is. And if you don't agree with that determination, you have 3 different paths that you can take. You can utilize the IRS appeals system, you can go directly to the U.S. Tax Court, or you can proceed directly to the U.S. Court of Federal Claims, or the U.S. District Court. Each of these options have different procedures and different outcomes, so it's important to understand the differences between them. Going to the IRS Appeals Office is the only dispute resolution option where a taxpayer can contest the amount of tax liability without having to prepay the disputed amount to the IRS. In all the other options, you either have to pay the full amount that the IRS says you owe, or set aside enough money in a litigating trust to satisfy that amount before you can go to court. Going to the IRS Appeals Office, you can still challenge the liability and not have to pay anything up front. But keep in mind, interest and penalties will continue to accrue on the disputed amount during the appeals process, so even though you're not paying anything up front, you could still end up owing more by the time the appeal is concluded. And if you prevail in your appeal, then the interest and penalties will continue to accrue during the period of the appeal, and you'll have to pay those as well. If you decide to go to the IRS Appeals Office, there are some additional benefits. You'll have the opportunity to meet with an appeals office conference room, and in many cases, this meeting will be with the same agent that made the original determination. That way, the appeals office can get a better understanding of the facts and circumstances surrounding the tax issue. You should always take advantage of this opportunity to meet with the appeals office because many times it results in a settlement of the dispute, and you'll have more leverage in settling the case than at any other time. If your case does not settle during the appeals office conference, then a report will be generated that will go along with your file to the next level of the IRS. And if it still doesn't settle, it will go to a final determination. I'm not going to go into detail on all the other options, but suffice it to say, there are benefits and drawbacks to each of them. So, it's important to consult with a tax attorney or CPA to discuss your options and determine which path is best for you. So if you ever have a disagreement with the IRS, keep in mind that you do have options, and the IRS appeals process is one option that may be beneficial for you. Thanks for watching.